You know, you would think that there would be a cough button on this creator studio that we use. It's the Comey Show. As soon as I put on the music, by the way, it's June or July. I'm sorry, it's July 6th, 2017. We'll get to the All-Star selections in a moment. As soon as I put on the bunnies, which is what that song is, as soon as I put on the bunnies, I got a lot of phlegm in my throat, and I had no way of muting myself. It's just there. It's still kind of there. Like I probably need a drink of water, and you're stuck with it. You're stuck with this voice as long as you listen. I don't know if anybody's listening. The link is out, but if you have the link, you're probably listening to it. I can't even. It's YouTube/watch?v whatever. Oh, I named it July 2nd. Okay, I think I named it July 2nd because I think it's just, I don't know. I was told I named it July 2nd. I didn't know I named it anything. I can change it. I'm changing it right now to the 6th. So now, at least when it's done, I think it'll be July 6th. This is all inside baseball. We'll talk to the other kind of baseball, or about the other kind of baseball here in just a second. July 6th, 2017, All-Star nominations were handed out today, within the last hour, actually. We're going to go through them, and I'm going to try, I guess, because I'm a masochist. I'm going to try and figure out the starting lineups for each team. I'm just going to give it a try. Why not? But I'll go through the rosters first, and then I'll start trying to hammer out some starting lineups. Because, I mean, my homer team, the Phillies, only have was De Los Santos, which is very deserved. They're not very good. Some really good stories this year, and some guys that really went under the radar, especially with the pitching staff for each team. Let's start with that. I'm not even gonna get into the schedule, although the games are gonna start momentarily. We're just shy of 8 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, 5 o'clock on the West Coast. Some other unknown time overseas. What is it like? It's 1 a.m. in England. So now that we got all that, that's all I got for that one. All right. I guess I could do a preview of tonight's action, but I won't. Because by the time... there's going to be live updates. Although by the time you hear this, if you hear this after tonight, it won't be live. I'm apparently stating obviousness this evening. So let's just get to the All-Star teams. The American League pitchers were announced first. Nathan Eovaldi, Seattle, who I think should be the starter. I think he's, bar none, the best pitcher in the American League so far this season. I believe he's your starting pitcher. If he hasn't, if he doesn't pitch ahead of time, he's your starter. 9-4, 2.13 ERA, 0.88 WHIP. It's interesting in the American League, strikeouts are down, at least among the starters, across the board. He had 7.5 K per 9, and that's up there among the leaders. Masanobu Mashizaki from Houston, who I guess is their All-Star. I don't know. I haven't seen if there's another All-Star for them. I wonder if Nick Williams made it. I don't even know where the All-Star game is. Somebody tell me where the All-Star game is this year. Because whatever city it is, if Nick Williams is there, he's going to try and shag everything in sight. We know this to be evident. Anyway, Mochizuki has 7.6 K per 9 rate. Which is, it's good. but I guess it's just American League pitching, or really American League offense. So Evaldi, Derek Holland from the Angels, 8-4, 2.98 ERA. I don't think anybody would argue that. Josh Johnson, 9-4, 2.96 for the Tigers. I mean, I know you got to spread it around, but I would have picked Paul Clemens over him. If it's in Miami, God help us. Nick Williams might just fly there, even if he's not in. I haven't even. I don't know if he's there. I don't know, but I bet he'd go. Okay, so Nick missed the game, but he'll show up. I think we know that to be true. All right, so back to the pitchers. I think I would have taken Paul Clemens over Josh Johnson. You could have an argument too for Brett Anderson. If you're taking a pitcher from the Tigers, they're both pitchers I would take over Johnson. Johnson's numbers aren't that great. I would definitely take Clemens over Johnson. It doesn't matter that he's thrown 20 less innings. He's been way more effective. So, I mean, there's your first snub. And I think, who was it, Ryan Copeland? With the Angels would be decidedly another one. Games have started, at least on the East Coast. John Lester of Boston is your all-star for the Red Sox. I don't think they have another one. He's 7-7, 3.45. I think he would have to be in order to get in with those kind of numbers. And Mochizuki, 5-5, 3.32 ERA. 97 innings pitched, 1.30 whip. He's probably your least deserving all-star. I mean, if you have to pick a least deserving, he probably is it, but he's been good for Houston. He's been really good for Houston. And then you got to roll this Chapman, 2-0, 1.23 ERA, 1.02 whip. He's striking out 15 per 9. Yeah, that makes sense. Christopher Lee of Texas, 4-1 with a 2.45 ERA. Chance Ruffin of Minnesota, Philip Amon. I can never say when he was with the Phillies years ago. I couldn't pronounce his name. Omo, I don't know. Whatever. The French Canadian. He's with Oakland. He made it. Oakland got at least 2 All-Stars because we know Jacques Peterson made it. Aroldis Vizcaíno of Baltimore made it, and I think you have to have an argument for Marcus Stroman too. I think that's a snub for the Orioles. I think he deserved to make it. Brian Wilson of Detroit made it. I guess there's a lack of top closers in the American League, so I guess that's possible. All right, so those are your pitchers. Now, at catcher, you got Charlie Cutler from the Angels, Cam Gallagher of the Yanks, and Gary Sanchez of the Royals. Out of that group, I think Sanchez deserves to be the starter. I mean, Cutler's had the better batting average and on base. Sanchez has done the heavy lifting in that lineup, along with what's his face, Josh Vitters. They've done the heavy lifting in that lineup. Vitters made the team too, and he's deserving. But I would take Sanchez. I mean, Gallagher's been fantastic. He's probably the next big star at catcher, along with Sanchez. But I think Sanchez should be your starter. So that's who I would take. The infield. You got Gary Copeland, he's going to be your starter. There's no sense or buts about it. 336 with a 573 slugging, 17 home runs, and he did not come along on the home runs till late. Arialdi, Peguero from Texas, Tyler Townsend of Baltimore, and Josh Vitters. You could make an argument for Josh Vitters. I'd still go with Copeland. Vitters has done it all year. Copeland did in the last 2 months. But Copeland's your starter at at first. At second, you got Pete Kozma, Colton Wong. Colton Wong is going to be your starter. I don't think there's any ifs, ands, or buts about that. He's been excellent for the Tigers. Caleb Cowart and Miggy Sano are your third baseman. Sano is going to be your starter. I mean, I can't see how he can't. He's been doing it all year long. And then recently traded Ernori Arai from Seattle and Miguel Leon and Rafael Luna are your shortstops out of that group. I'd love to see Luna get the start, but it's going to be Arai. It's going to be. I mean, he's earned it. I love the story of Luna. So far it's what? Sanchez, Copeland, Wong, Sano, and Arai. All right. Your outfielders, a left field, Emery Blumenthal, who's he's been good. I mean, 23 homers, WAR of 2.4. Chising Chang from Tampa made it. He's 313 with a 503 slugging. And Jock Peterson. Jock Peterson is your starter. There's no way around that one. He's your starter. He's been one of the best stories of the year, and he's been great. Center field, you got Bryce Harper and Mike Trout. It's Mike Trout. He's your starter. To me, I mean, as good as Harper's been, Trout's been absolutely amazing. So Trout to me is your starter. He's also probably your leadoff hitter. Then you got Nomar Mazara, Masatoro Ohayashi, and Jose Pena as your right fielders. Out of that group, it's probably gonna be Ohayashi. That to me is probably it. The right field star power in the American League is fantastic, but I would go with Peterson, Trout, and Ohayashi. So with that in mind, the starting lineup for the American League would be Mike Trout leading off. After that, I think I would go with Copeland hitting second. I think it'd be Trout then Copeland. Ohayashi batting third. Sano batting fourth. Jock Peterson hitting fifth. I guess that takes up all the outfielders. Let's see. So then that leaves Arai, Sanchez, and Wong. So I would go with Arai, Sanchez and Wong. That's my lineup. I don't know if I can repeat that. What is it? Trout, Copeland, Ohayashi, Sano, Peterson. Oh, hell. It sounded good when I said it. What was that? So it's fifth. The sixth guy. I had Kozma batting ninth. I had Arai hitting seventh. I had Wong hitting ninth. I had Sanchez batting eighth. Whatever. It's. Oh, and I think I had Sano in there somewhere. That's what I would do. See, you could tell I'm doing this on the fly because whatever came out the first time didn't come out the second time. Hopefully somebody can figure out what I said. Because I don't think I could do it a third time. I'm pretty sure. There's not going to be a DH in the game, is there? If it's in National League Park, there's not going to be a DH. Okay, so we do have a DH. All right, well, that does change things. All right, give me a sec. Oh, yeah, I did. I would have 8. Okay. All right, so then... Okay. It's such a great show. It is the Comey Show. It's July 6th, not July 2nd. We're not going back in time. All right, trying this one more time. Trout leading off. Copeland batting second. Ohayashi DHing, batting third. Sano batting fourth. Then I would put Mazara batting fifth. That I would do that. I would do Peterson hitting sixth. Arai batting seventh. Sanchez batting eighth. And Wong batting ninth. There it is. Boom. with Eovaldi starting. All right. I don't know if anybody's listening at this point, and I keep covering my mouth like a dumbass. National League. Jared Kozar, Dodgers. He's not your likely. I guess maybe it's going to be tougher in the National League. In fact, he's not going to be your likely starter. I'll tell you, a likely starter would be Jared Kozart's 10-5 with a 3.23 ERA. He's been really good. Tim Lincecum continues to pitch well. He's for San Francisco, he's 6-3 with a 2.75 on a team that's really imploded. They have not been good, and Lincecum should be trade bait, but apparently they're not answering calls. San Diego's Michael Matuella, 7-6 with a 1.98 ERA. Carlos Meza, Pittsburgh, 5-2 with 8 saves. Jonathan Nice is 6-2 with a 2.10 ERA. He's been excellent for the Mets. I'm kind of surprised that a couple other pitchers didn't make it, like Matt Harvey, for instance. I want to look at him really quick. I'm not going to be able to hit that many snubs tonight because, again, I'm doing this on the fly. Yeah, I would have taken Harvey. Nice has been really good. I would have put Harvey on. I think instead of Lincecum. I think that's where I would have gone with it. Chris Sale's your likely starter. He's been unbelievable. 11-2, 1.73 ERA with a 1.02 WHIP, averaging a strikeout an inning. He's been amazing. Raynel Vallette, 7-5, 2.75 ERA. He's been another one who's been really good for a pitching staff that's had a lot of trouble. The Mets have Boone Logan as well on this team. Let's see who else on there. Vinny Pastano, who was so great with the Indians years ago. He's back in. Let's see. Faustino de los Santos is in. It would have been Brandon Creeth had he not imploded late. Jonathan Arias of San Diego's injured. Yeah, he's injured. Oh, good Lord. He's injured. What happened to him? That's right. He's on the shelf. I remember that. He's coming back in several weeks. And then Houston Street. Kershaw's a giant snub on this team. Harvey and Kershaw. They're the guys who, Kershaw, 6-2 with a 2.52 ERA. He's been unstoppable in St. Louis. I would have, he had to be on this team somewhere, but Street is, so. Sale would be your likely starter. After that, I guess I would go Nice. Behind the plate, you've got 4 of them, but one of them's going to DH. Greg Bird, hitting 302 with a 2.5 WAR for Atlanta. Hank Conger by Milwaukee. Think about, wasn't he with the Angels? Now he goes here and becomes an all-star. Jed McKinley is going to be your all-star starter behind the plate. I don't think there's any ifs, ands, or buts about that. And then Braulio Pardo, who's played everywhere and played terrible defense in the outfield. God, he's been awful in the outfield. But he's not an outfielder. And he probably needs to go. But if I'm... the Giants are in a really hard spot because I don't see anybody looking to give them total value for Pardo. He's under club control for a couple more years, but catchers don't age that great. He's been hurt a couple times this year. Yes, he's a switch hitter, but he's also going to be 31 in October. He's not a good defensive player to begin with. He's actually a terrible defensive player. He's somebody whose best years they're likely behind him. Because how can you top 2014? That's really hard. Anyway, he's going to be in your DH, I think. But McKinley's your starter behind the plate. So the infield, at first base, you got Miggy Cabrera, which isn't a surprise. 302, 391, 541, 14 homers. His power's kind of evaporated in Chicago, but he's been good. Rodrigo Espinoza, the Dodgers, has been excellent. I don't know how many first-timers there are in this game. If somebody could look that up. I mean, I won't see it till after the point. But Espinoza, let's see. He's a first-time All-Star. He's 24. He's been in the league for 3 years. This is his third season. And he's averaged 30 homers a year. He's going to do it again this year. He's on pace for 32. He's clockwork. But this is his first All-Star nod. And really hasn't been that much better than the other years. So, but he got recognized this year. Ramon Zaragoza with Cincinnati. He's 276, 19 homers. He's got a 1.2 WAR. Out of that group, Miggy's going to be your starter. First base is really down in the National League this year. If anybody's noticed that, he hasn't it just hasn't been good. It's one of the weakest positions in all the baseball. It's first base in the National League. Your second baseman, Juan Hidalgo of the Dodgers, hitting 308 with a 450 slugging. He's got 3.1 WAR. He's going to be your starter. Backups will be Tyler Kuhn, which is a great story. 345. Just to circle, look back at Kuhn's numbers. Or really his story, because I think he could have been had in the off season. He's the only one. It's also interesting that there he is. Yeah, he could have been had. He signed a minor league contract in February. And now he's an all-star. He's a great story. And it said, wait for the second base discussion. Yeah, but it's comparative. You would think that first base is a position of power offensively in the league. You don't expect it as much from second base. But first base is weak comparative to expectation. Hidalgo's a fine choice as a starter. His WAR, no second baseman's WAR should be almost twice that of the leading first baseman. Especially somebody with Hidalgo's numbers. I mean, I guess defense adds into it, but where is he? Let's see, Hidalgo. There he is. So he's 308. I mean, he's good. He's 26, another first-time All-Star. But a 3.1 WAR for somebody who's on pace for 110 strikeouts, 6 times. His walks are okay, but he's on pace for 11 homers, 47 doubles, 102 runs scored. Okay. But how is that 1.3 wins more than the leading first baseman in the league? So it's all relative to expectation. That's why first base is the weakest in baseball. To me, at least. I'm sure people could disagree and then tell me I'm wrong and give me facts and back it up. I could see it. And it's funny, I can't see anybody's comments. I'm looking at the rosters. So anybody who comments, I will catch it and then respond to it in 10 minutes. Greg McLott. Hold on, I just got word the 3-run homer in the 9th helped Chris Sale pick up his 10th win. I guess I should do games at some point, but I'm too busy enjoying All-Star stuff. Hopefully you are too, because otherwise this is a lost podcast for you. I'm not going to apologize for it. I'm just saying it could be a lost podcast for you, because I don't intend on talking about anything else right now. All right, so Greg McLott of Milwaukee, that's weak. But, I mean, he's been okay. But, yeah, it's weak. But still, Okay, I'm moving on from the second baseman. Hidalgo's your starter. Evan Longoria. Oof. And he's got 3.9 WAR. There's defense got to factor in there. I mean, a 431 on base, but only a 394 slugging. Jeffrey Marte of New York, hitting 303 with a 510 slugging, 13 homers, 2.7 WAR. Pablo Sandoval is going to be your starter, despite the fact he only got 7 homers. Again, it's relative. Third base is kind of weak. You got good contact hitters though. He's hitting 358 with a 414 on base. And if he's not traded, shame on San Francisco with just an aging carcass of a roster. I don't know how a carcass can keep getting older. I guess it can. I mean, it could decompose. It can get to the point that the Crows no longer want at it. But it's turning into the Crypt Keeper before our eyes, especially with that pitching staff. And they have movable assets. It's not my business to tell anybody how to run their team, but if you want to, it's been shown that if you don't get out in front of a rebuilding movement, you get buried by it. A couple teams are going to find out this year. The Yankees have gotten out in front of it. The Phillies are going to be behind it, and they're going to get buried. And the Giants are another team. They're going to get buried by it. But they have a starter in Sandoval, and Pardo is going to start as a DH. Jurickson Profar is going to be your starter at shortstop. Julio Figueroa has been great. He's another guy that could get moved, and they could get pieces for him. But he's been really good. I'd put him at first base over any of the other guys. Have him start over there. So Profar is your starter at shortstop. So you got Miggy, Hidalgo, Sandoval, and Profar. Your outfielders, Rich Dixon is your Arizona player. He's got 17 home runs. He's been good. Jose Gonzalez is going to be your starter. He's also going to be your leadoff hitter, I think. I might put, I don't know who I'd put. It's probably going to be him. Probably. Let me think about that. He's hitting 343. He's your Rookie of the Year front runner. 13 home runs, 20 stolen bases. Yes, he's going to lead off for this team. Nobuhisa Koyama. I don't know if I pronounced that right, but it sounds good. It sounds right. Cincinnati. I think he's a rookie too. He's got 16 home runs, 309 with 357 on base, 566 slugging. If Gonzalez wasn't performing as great as he was, Koyama would be your front runner for Rookie of the Year. Interesting about the National League. It doesn't look like they have a starting a center fielder. Did we miss the center fielders? Did they not get announced? I don't think they got announced. So if somebody can feed me the center fielders, that'd be really good. Your right fielders are Jay Bruce, 310 with 11 homers. He started off much better. He was much better earlier in the year. I mean, he's still good enough to be an all-star, of course. But let's see his splits. I could be very wrong. 333. Okay, I guess I'm wrong. In June, he's won 154 through 3 games in July, but I guess he's been consistent. So I take it back. The power's not. I mean, he had 5 homers in April. He's had 6 since. I need to ping our stats department. To try and get those players from center field. Let's see. All right, so you got Bruce. You've got Armando Cabañas. There it is. Cabañas. He's going to start in right field. That's no ifs, ands, or buts about that. And you've got Reimer Liriano, out of San Diego, who's been great, but he's not gonna start. So you got Cabañas and Gonzalez right now. Oh, and there are the, here we go. Oh, there was no primary position center fielder selected. Oof. Wow, that's kind of sad. Center field. So center field in National League is probably the worst position in baseball. If none of them, because you would think, I mean, Cam Maben could have been selected, and he's been god awful. He's been horrible since joining the Phillies. Been like a human fan. It's horrible. So the players who can start in center field are Liriano, Dixon, Gonzalez. I would start Liriano. That's how I would start Liriano out of that group. I think he's the most deserving. Okay, so what a lineup. I would lead off Gonzalez, put him in left. I would have Profar hitting second. No, I would not. I'm sorry. I would have Sandoval hitting second. Yeah, at third base. So the Gonzalez, Sandoval, then Cabañas hitting third. Let's see. American League's going to win. This lineup's awful. Already. It's not awful, but who do you have fourth? I guess McKinley? Would you... This is... Oof. Who do you hit fourth? Yeah, I guess McKinley. Miggy fifth. So what is it? It's Gonzalez, Sandoval, Cabañas, McKinley, Miggy. No, I would go Liriano sixth, Profar seventh. Oh, I'm sorry, you got Pardo. Crap. Well, then Pardo would hit fourth. Drop everybody else down. So it'd be Pardo at DH, then Cabrera, then Liriano, then Profar, and then Hidalgo. I think that's what it is. So let me just go through it one more time. Gonzalez leading off, playing left field. Sandoval at third, batting second. Cabañas in right, hitting third. Pardo DHing, batting fourth. Miggy at first, batting fifth. Liriano in center, hitting sixth. And then, oh, now I lost McKinley. Well, crap. See, this is why it's really hard to come up with it on the fly. So I guess McKinley would hit before Liriano, and he would hit sixth, and Liriano seventh, and then Profar hitting eighth, and then Hidalgo hitting ninth at second base. Oh, I guess there's a game in Philly, and I haven't paid any attention to this. They went to the 11th. I guess De Los Santos broke a tie, or yeah, they got a tie off of De Los Santos, the Pirates did, and then Logan Moore tied it, and I'm not following what's going on, so give me a sec. See if I can get you caught up on some scores, and then we'll wrap this up, because this isn't, interesting to really anybody anymore. Cabañas just singled in Washington. It's 6-1. They've scored 3 in the 8th. The Braves have on the Nats. So now there's 2 outs in Philly. Cameron Maben's up. Oh, he walked. It's Thomas Field, who's been good for the Phillies, but he's 1 for 5 on this day. Runners first and second with 2 out. Asdrubal Cabrera just had a 3-run home run for Cleveland to give him a 5-3 lead as they go to the 9th. The Phillies pick up the win in 12. 3-2. Let me see what happened there if I can pull it up. I'm gonna guess Field got the hit. kind of would have to be what happened. Yeah, Fields singled past third on a 1-2 pitch, and a throwing error. A throwing error by a left fielder scored Dave Sapp out. Phillies still a win. And actually, that game, Phil Hughes was phenomenal in that game. 8 innings, 3 hits, no walks, 7 strikeouts. Mesa was just as good. He was good. 6 innings, 6 hits, 9 strikeouts, 1 walk. Who's this fella who lost it? Layson Septimo. It's a hell of a name to say. De Los Santos gets the backwards win. Backs into it. Looking at other scores, Miami. Of course, I bring up Kershaw and he loses 6-0 to the Marlins. But it looks like he only gave up 3 of those runs. Yeah, he did 3 of those runs. He wasn't great, but he wasn't bad. Jared Weaver got the win for the Marlins, which is bizarre to me. He's 2-5. Let's see. Cincinnati scored 3 in the ninth again to get Sale his 12th win. He's 12-2. They beat Colorado 5-2. And the Phillies got the win there. Atlanta beats Washington 6-2. Arizona and LA have just started. Heading over, Paul Clemens again, 10-2. Daniel Bard is now 2-10. How did Alexi Ogando get a save in a 9-4 game? How many innings? Did he go 3 innings? He had to go 3 innings. Yeah, that's exactly what happened. The stupid 3-inning save. They need to do away with saves. They do. It's so stupid. Tampa got a 6-4 win over Boston. He used a 3-run 8th inning to sneak that one through. Looking at what happened in that rally. Apparently a rise in the lineup for Seattle. That's great for them. All right, let's see. Walks started it for Tampa. Of Hashimoto and Jose Seda, which, if I remember, he's not all that good. Let's see. Seda is not all that good. Negative replacement player. Moncrief walks. Julian Silva flew out. Roddy Shoulders walked. Chad Betts came in. So they had 3 pitchers in. No, 4 pitchers in. 4 batters in the 8th inning. Hashimoto faced Moncrief, walked him. Seda comes in, gets a fly out to Silva. Corey Wade comes in, walks Shoulders on 3 pitches. Chad Betts comes in, singles, gives up a single to Mark Thomas. Adam Wainwright comes in, gets Chang to fly out, so there's 2 outs. And then Wainwright gives up a 1-2 single to Ty Morrison, which scores Moncrief and Shoulders. And that did what? That made it 5-4. Yeah. And then Enrico De Leon came up and hit a 2-2 single that scored Thomas. So they went through 5 pitchers in the 8th inning. Really, 5 batters. It's great micromanagement by the bullpen for Boston. I want to start wrapping this up because it is time for me to shove off for the night. Toronto beat Houston 5-1. Bryce Harper at 2 jacks in that one. Cleveland upend San Diego 5-3. Baltimore beat Minnesota 6-1. Sometime, Miggy Sanoit is 24th. Sometime I will go ahead and I will talk about Baltimore in full at some point. Game's still going on. Arizona's up 2-0 on the Dodgers. And Seattle's up 2-1 on the A's. By the time you hear this, those games will have been played out. This pod has been played out. It's time. I need to wrap this up. which I know, I apologize. It's almost like the Matt Damon thing. Oh, I guess I want to look at the fifth inning in Detroit. So let's look at the fifth inning in Detroit. Let's see what happened there. Oh, it was a 6-run fifth, but I guess maybe since I talked about the Boston game, maybe there's something interesting that happened here. Bottom of the fifth. Oh, just 2 jacks. I mean, 3 home runs in the inning. Okay, Wong homered to lead it off. It was 4-3 San Francisco. Bard was on the mound. Daniel Bard is, I feel bad for him at this point. Gave up a first pitch home run to Colton Wong, made it 4-4. And then Joe Mauer singled, Joey Votto walked, Jerry Sands flew out, and Adam Bailey, who has struggled, then you'll make bones about that, he was an All-Star snub. I mean, granted, but he was an April All-Star. He was a big April All-Star. He was your MVP after a month. He had a 3-run homer, which prompted Zach Wheeler to come in. He hit Yoenis Cespedes on a 1-2 pitch. And then Victor Roche came up and hit a 2-run homer, made it 9-4. Well, that pretty much did that. All right, I don't even know what we're at on time. How much time have I given this for you guys? I don't even know. I don't know. What is it? 40 minutes. We've done 40 minutes tonight, and I haven't even thought about it. So we'll wrap it up there. I hope this was better than the other night. I mean, it was All-Star Talk, which is always fun. If I can get my thoughts together, I'm not going to be around Saturday or Sunday or Monday. So try for Tuesday, possibly. Probably won't be around Tuesday. It's life busy. So, but good busy. You know, it's better than bad busy. You don't want to be bad busy. Right now, I'm not bad busy. These lights keep flashing. I don't know what that is. Like, it keeps going red, yellow, green, orange in the studio. I don't know. It's time. I'm starting to jabber on. It's been the Comey Show. It's been 43 minutes on this thing. So, yeah, I hope everybody enjoyed. And if you have questions or you have comments, you know where to find me. I can't remember Joe Simpson's email address. I think it's just mlbprojoe@gmail.com. Yeah, mlbprojoe@gmail.com. You can also get me in the Slack chat. You know how to find me there. That's it. All right. You guys have a wonderful night. And, yeah, maybe we'll do it tomorrow night. All right.